means is, yeah, so if you're a tender heart that is going to be moving up to Explorers, you're going to visit them next week. And so that'll be a lot of fun. And also Explorers will move up to Pippa's that are just see what it's like to be up with their different group that they're going to be with and their leaders. So without further ado, we have a wonderful play being presented to us by our explorers, and we're all very excited. The scenery looks amazing, so if they can get themselves ready.
In the days when the judges ruled, there was a famine in the land. A man named Elimelech, his wife Naomi, and his 2 sons went to live in the land of Moab. While they were living in Moab, Elimelech died. His sons married Moabite women. After they had lived there 10 years, both sons died. Naomi was left alone.
Naomi heard that the Lord had come to the aid of his people. Naomi and her 2 daughters-in-law prepared to return to the land of Judah. Naomi turned to her daughters-in-law and said,
"Go back, each of you. May the Lord show you kindness as you have shown to me. May the Lord grant each of you a home and a husband."
She kissed each of them, and they wept. They said,
"We will go back to your people."
But Naomi insisted that they return to their own country. Orpah kissed her mother-in-law and left, but Ruth clung to her. Ruth said,
"Do not tell me to leave you. Where you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Where you die, I will die. There I will be buried. May the Lord deal with me severely if anything but death separates you and me."
Then Naomi and Ruth returned to Bethlehem. The people said,
"Can this be Naomi?"
"Call me Mara, for now I am better. The Lord has afflicted me."
When they were arriving, the barley harvest was beginning. Now Naomi had a relative named Boaz. Boaz was a man of good character.
"Let me go out to the fields to collect the leftover grain that falls from the stacks."
"Go ahead, my daughter."
So Ruth went to the fields to glean behind the harvesters. She was in the field that belonged to Boaz. Just then Boaz arrived.
"The Lord be with you." "And the Lord bless you." "Who is that young woman?"
"That is the Moabite woman who came back with Naomi. She asked if she could pick up the grain that fell from the stack. She has been working all day except for a short rest in the shelter."
"My daughter, do not go to any other field. Stay here with my servant girls. If you're, I've told the workers not to harm you. You'll be safe here. If you're thirsty, go take a drink from the water jars here."
At this, Ruth bowed down with her face to the ground. Ruth said,
"Why have you been so kind to me, a foreigner?"
Boaz continued to show kindness to Ruth. He instructed his men to be kind to her. That night, when Ruth returned to Naomi, Ruth told her all that had happened and of the kindness Boaz had shown her.
"The Lord bless him. He is a king and a redeemer."
"They told me not to go to any other field until they were done harvesting all the grain."
"It would be good for you, my daughter, to stay with the servants, and someone else's field might be farmed."
Ruth continued to work in Boaz's field and lived with her mother-in-law, Naomi.
"My daughter, should I try to find home for you? For you will have husband be provided for. Tonight, Boaz will be winnowing barley on the threshing floor. Wash and perfume yourself, put on your best clothes. You must stay."
Naomi instructed Ruth to go to the threshing floor and lay at the feet of Boaz while he was sleeping. Ruth did as she was told.
Boaz awoke, startled to find Ruth at his feet.
Who are you? It is I, your servant Ruth. My daughter, this is a great kindness. You have not run after young men, rich or poor. Do not be afraid. I'll do all that you ask. Everyone knows that you're a noble woman.
Ruth returned to Naomi and told her everything that had happened. The next day, Boaz went to the town elder to settle the matter of marrying Ruth and the property of Naomi.
Boaz bought the property of Naomi's and married Ruth. Boaz and Ruth had a baby boy named Obed. Obed was the grandfather of King David and part of the lineage of Jesus Christ.